What's the purpose of every call? Book the move. That's it. That's it. Now, there's a secondary purpose. Provide an estimate. Educate on the process of getting estimates. Build rapport. Create interest in your company. Get contact information for follow-up. If that's a phone call coming in, you need to make sure you have that contact information for follow-up. When we started today, we started by talking about lead capture and how important that was. Identify the influencers. Who's really making the decision? Is it an assistant that's maybe calling for the boss? Who's really making the decision? If the wife says, I need to speak to the husband, yeah, maybe not, right? That just could be an excuse. Could they really make the decision if they wanted to? You want to identify who the real influencer is, who could really say yes and give you the credit card. And then add to your follow-up pipeline. But the first purpose of every call is what? All right. What do you need to do on every single call? And when I say you, this is whoever's talking to the customer. So you, your team, enthusiastic and cheerful with an audible smile. If you guys still have, if you notice when I had the sales script up, there was little smiley faces next to each section. Did anybody notice that? Okay, and you guys that have my script, you've seen it on there, all right? Always be smiling. Tell your sales team, I want my customers to hear you smiling on the other end of the phone. Nobody wants to talk to a miserable sap, right? Thanks for calling, moving in storage. No, you can't have that on your phones. Can't have it. Be interested in what they have to say. It's very easy to not do this because you do this every day. So when the customer calls and they're like, oh, well, I have this China cabinet and this and that, it's very easy to just go, yeah, no, I get it. We do that all the time. Don't worry about it. Just come on, what else you got? Right? Yeah, I mean, I know you do it all the time. I know you don't need to hear every little detail, but we want to book moves, right? Be interested in what they have to say. Your tonality is very important. You know, you can't have somebody that's talking like this the whole time on the phone and never goes up and never goes down, right? They need to have a little personality and have good tonality. Separate yourself from the competition. Never, ever, ever badmouth the competition, all right? It's just a bad practice. It's distasteful. Everybody in every city, in every area needs to get away from that. And I'm sure everyone's had that happen to them. Everyone just needs to cut that out because you know what? It doesn't, you think that it's helping you. You ever that one person that every time you talk to them, they have something to say about somebody else? Right? Do you trust that person? Or do you feel like, you know what, they're talking shit about me too when I'm not around? Right? People don't like that. And again, you could argue and say, yeah, Louis, but I do that. And the customers go, yeah, I don't want to move with them. Let's move with you. It will happen. There's people out there that badmouth me. Right? I don't say a word about anything, about anybody. All right? You don't need to do it, and it's actually hurting you. Control the communication of the call. You have your script. You know where to lead them back to, but you need to control the conversation and where it's going. And be yourself. It's important. You don't want to try to sound like me or try to sound like anybody else or, just be you. There's something that I haven't said yet today, but it's Moving Sales Academy, but you know what? It's not that hard of a sale. It's really great customer service, giving them all the answers to all the questions that they have, and then just asking for the business and being a little more persistent than everybody else. You know? It's not like, hey, sell me this pen. That's not what we're doing, right? You're not trying to sell somebody something they don't need. It's easy. I mean, this is, they're requesting information. You're just going to lead them to book with your company. So be yourself, be comfortable, stick to your script. Know your pitch, stick to the script. If you're just, anybody not using a script, I'm sure there's plenty of you. Okay. And do you have anybody, sales teams working for you? Okay. So important. So important. And you know what? For the first few days, maybe they will sound like they're reading from a script. But we're going to go over how to train them and the whole process of that. And by the time they come out of training, they should have it memorized and they should have it there just to be able to, refer to. Ask them if they have a pen and give them your name and company's name. Simple little thing. But by getting them to write down your name, your company's name, your phone number, it's a micro commitment. You're getting them to take a little bit of action. And you're also making sure they have your phone number too. So when they are done for the day and they've done everything else online, but meanwhile they wrote your stuff down, that separates you from the competition. And let me just go back to that real quick, because I said separate yourself from the competition. Talk about what you do that makes you different than the competition. I kind of went into not bad-mouthing, but talk about what you do that makes you different. What we do that other companies don't do is this. You don't have to pinpoint someone and say they do this wrong or that wrong. Just talk about what you do different. Take good notes. Always take good notes. This could be probably traced back to a ton of complaints that maybe you guys have received or people in the industry have received. If you don't put good notes in the system when you're booking the move, dispatch doesn't know how to service the move. If dispatch doesn't know how to service the move, they don't know how to give the movers the information they need to get the job done. Good notes are crucial. And let me tell you something. The customer does not care about all your different departments, right? They spoke to one person, the salesperson. They don't want to hear that, well, this, then it got passed to the dispatcher, and then the dispatcher, had to make the confirmation call, and then it went to the movers. Whoever they speak to is a representative of your company, that one person, and to the customer, that person's like the logo, right? Your company is that conversation. You can't backtrack and say, well, you didn't tell me that. Well, I told your salesman that. How many of you have heard, I told your salesman this, or I told your salesman that? Right? That doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong on the service end. It probably means that there's not good notes in the system. Put everything in the system. Any little thing. If they say they have a little chihuahua named Fifi, put it in there. Right? Be straightforward and honest. Believe you could book the move on every call. Don't go into each call like, here's another estimate again. Go into each call where I'm going into this call to book the job. And believe that you could do it. Identify their concerns and offer solutions. This is big. And this goes back to, being interested in what they have to say. They start talking about that China cabinet. They're obviously concerned about that. That's a huge opportunity to win points when you could offer solutions. Right? When you could tell them how it needs to be packed, how you're going to take care of it. And this is when you come out of the script a little bit. Right? We talked about being able to come out of the script for a little side conversation for those of you worried that it's not going to allow you to flow naturally, and then come back into the script so you can pick up where you left off. Be respectful. I know this seems, common, but customer's not your friend. They don't want to be your friend. They want to deal with a respectful, professional company. You don't need people on the phone like, hey, what's up, brother? Hey, what's up, my man? Right? Hey, buddy, how are you? Right? Be respectful as a professional. Don't try to relate to them like you guys are going to go to the club later and stuff. It's not cool. And that might be a lot of people's style, and it might work for you. When you hire people, let them do it. Let your company be represented professionally. Be enthusiastic. If you're not excited about the service, they're not going to be excited about it. And it's moving, right? Again, you're not selling a vacation. It's moving. But if you're excited about it, people feel that excitement. If I walked out here and I'm like, hey guys, welcome to Moving Sales Academy. How's everybody doing today? Right? I'm excited because I'm excited. And so hopefully some of you are excited. Hopefully some of you are having a good time. Is anybody having a good time? You having a good time? Good. I try. Create urgency. Always create urgency. Whether times it's getting close, we don't have many crews available. Never badmouth the competition. Talked about that. Build rapport. We're going to talk about how to build rapport. And then end the call on a high note with an audible smile. Just because you answered the phone with a nice cheery greeting doesn't mean they remember that at the end. Bring them in on a high note, send them out on a high note. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Make sure you subscribe to the new Moving Mastery podcast. It's available on iTunes right now, and it's the exclusive place where I share proven strategies and processes on how to reach higher levels of success in your moving business. Every week I share valuable insights, stories, and expert interviews with takeaways you can implement in your business right away. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look and tactical training from my seminars and online training programs on how to improve each area of your moving business. It's called the Moving Mastery Podcast, and it's available on iTunes or anywhere you get your podcasts, so make sure you subscribe. And if you're ready to take your moving company to the next level, make sure you check out my brand new on-demand training on how to consistently book more high-paying moves all year long. It's called the 6 Stages of a Moving Company Sales Machine, and you can access it right now for free at lewismassaro.com/6stages. In this training, you'll learn the steps you need to take to increase your sales with a smooth running, consistent process. This is the same process I use in my moving companies to book 12,000 moves a year, and now I'm training you on how to implement it in your moving company for free. It's available now at lewismassaro.com/6stages. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It really helps support me and the channel and enables me to keep putting out new videos for you. I'd really appreciate it. By subscribing, you'll also get a notification every time I release new training, so make sure you hit subscribe.